Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you late tonight for this next review for Paris Hilton Infinite Icon album review that I got a chance to listen to for myself to see what I was going to think of this record overall. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 35 minutes of this record for 35 minutes and some seconds for Infinite Icon for the 12 tracks that are on this record, and let you know my thoughts on this album overall. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with Welcome Back, which is a good track. I wouldn't say her vocals are kind of my acquired taste, but they're tolerable at least for this song because at least it executes pretty well. So I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. Then comes I'm Free featuring Rina Sawayama. I like Rina Sawayama in this track. Paris Hilton at least tried with her vocals, but it's a hit or miss kind of thing. But it's still a good track, so I'd give it a solid 4.5 out of 5 for this one too. Rina Sawayama's vocals was the one that really got me hooked to this track, and some of the melody and how it's played out for structure wise and execution wise. It's a good track. Chasin featuring Megan Trainor. Above decent track, not one of my favorites, but it's kind of hit or miss in a way. Not one of the worst tracks, but it's just in a way. So I think Megan Trainor's singing was not bad, but Paris Hilton at least shined in this track a little bit for how it sounded, so 4.25 out of 5. Then comes Bad Bitch Academy featuring Megan Thee Stallion. What the fuck was this song? Honestly, what the fuck was this song? This was shit. I will say that the techno, bass, and all that was interesting, but it's the way Paris Hilton was singing this track, Welcome to the Bad Bitch Academy thing. It was just like, I'm gonna skip this track. It was a very skippable track, and I had to endure listening to the almost 3 minutes of this song, and it's not good. So, 2.25 out of 5. Fuck this track. Fame Won't Love You featuring Sia. This was originally a Sia song from her newest record, Reasonable Woman, which I think is a pretty strong track. So I really like this one. So 4.75 out of 5. Sia sounds good vocally in this track, and execution wise, pretty strong track. I really dig this one for how it sounded. ADHD, the regular Paris Hilton track, it's average. It's not great in any way, but it's just still a little too girl pop kind of stuff, like the bubblegum pop crap. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just average at best, so 3.5 out of 5. Legacy is a decent song. At least the melody wasn't bad in this track. But it just went on and on. Had a repetitive chorus some of the time, but it wasn't terrible in any way, so 4 out of 5 for this one. Paris Hilton singing in it was alright. Stay Young is a mediocre track. It does feel radio friendly, this one. Something that she's going to play live, and a lot of her fans are going to be excited for it, and I'm like, well, it's just mediocre at best. So 3.75 out of 5. Infinity is a little too iffy for me. I think it's okay, but it's not great. Anyway, so I'd give it a 3.25 out of 5. Not sure how I feel about this one. With the way Paris Hilton was singing it from time to time, it's hit or miss. So, it's just iffy. 3.25 out of 5. If the Earth is Spinning, apparently it features Sia, but I'm gonna be honest with you, this didn't sound like Sia was in this track. I mean, it didn't sound bad mixing-wise. I'll give it that. The production in this track was pretty good along with the mixing. So that was the highlight, but there was a lot of auto-tune techno kind of stuff with her vocals sounding technoized in this track, and I don't know if I liked it or if I would say I dislike it. I'm just on the safe side with this one, but I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's a decent track, but not anything special. Without Love is meh. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 for this one. The repetitive techno, da 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 kind of thing that it goes on singing, it was kind of annoying, to be honest. It wasn't terrible, but it was just slightly annoying. But a 3 out of 5 is what I'm feeling for this one. I was originally going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, but I decided, you know what? It's not that special of a track, but it's meh. Adored is cringy. I can't stand this track. It is another bad song. It's disappointing. It's just the way she's singing it. I'm not connecting with it. 2.25 out of 5 for this one. So overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I was disappointed with this Paris Hilton record, to be honest. I just feel that she's relying on the bubblegum pop stuff with this trendy pop, techno, disco kind of feel, or whatever she's going for with this record. It's not working. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think she's that great of a singer. I think she's okay, but not a great singer. There's some songs where her vocals do good, and some songs where her vocals are kind of crappy. It just depends on how the song's gonna sound. And if it does sound good, great. If it doesn't, you must have quit. So basically, you gotta give it up if you can't do it. Pretty much just wrap it up and say, okay, I can't hit this, so I'm not gonna do music. But other than that, if I were to give this record its deserved score, I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. This record is bad. I'm very disappointed with this record. I found there to be some strong tracks from this record, but the underlying problem is 2 songs from this record, which is Bad Bitch Academy and Adored. Those tracks really brought the rating down for this record. They weren't good tracks. And Adored is the closing track, keep in mind. That's not a good closing track, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, this record is gonna be forgettable. As the end of the year comes, which we're approaching it pretty much, we're gonna probably get some hit or miss albums. This year as a whole, with music-wise, it's been good for the first 2 quarters, but then afterwards, it's kind of hit a big decline with music. For like August and September, I'm running out of music to really be invested in. I mean, I can't wait for the October and November releases, but it's very limited. It's very limited to what we're going to be getting for the rest of the year's music, but we'll just find out. I know the next anticipated album is the new Linkin Park record, and that's coming out November 15th, but other than that, this record is skippable. So, 5.5 out of 10 for Paris Hilton, Infinite Icon, and with that being said, thank you for watching this album review tonight.